They say there's a version of the internet you'll never find by Googling. No trending hashtags, no funny cat videos, just layers, dark ones, that peel back the illusion of safety until all that's left is the raw, rotting core of what people really are when no one's watching. Some call it the dark web, others call it home. You might think you're safe with a VPN, an anonymous browser, a friend who knows what he's doing. But here's the thing. When you open that door, you're not just looking into something forbidden. It's looking back. And if you're not careful, if you're just a little too curious, you might find yourself watched, tracked, hunted, and used as entertainment. Because what lives in that place doesn't want to be found. And if it finds you first, you don't just lose your privacy, you lose your life. Piece by piece. So gather round, don't look at your phone, don't check your webcam, because this is the true story of someone who clicked too far. This is, I wasn't careful enough on the deep web. And it all started with curiosity. The deep web, it's not what most people think. It's not just some hidden marketplace or a place where you buy drugs and weird gadgets. No, the deep web is something else, something worse. It's a door, not locked, not hidden. Just waiting for someone stupid enough to open it. Someone like me. Back then I was in college, living in a dorm, surrounded by people just as bored and reckless as I was. There was this trend going around, guys in the dorms whispering about accessing the real deep web, bragging about how easy it was, what they'd seen, what they'd bought. It was becoming normal, almost like a challenge. How deep have you gone? At first I stayed out of it. I'd heard the stories. Heard about the horror sites, the red rooms, the hacks. Heard about people who saw things they shouldn't have and had things happen to them no one could explain. But eventually, curiosity always wins. I asked a friend to help me set it all up. He came by with this knowing grin, like he was showing me fire for the first time. We installed Tor, got the right browsers, masked my IP. He asked me, "You planning on doing anything illegal?" "No," I said. I meant it. Good, then we won't bother with tales. He made sure I understood the basics. When you use the hidden wiki, keep it on censored mode. And trust me. I nodded. I was cautious. At first. The first couple of weeks were thrilling. Chat rooms, weird conspiracy pages, forums that felt like they were carved from shadows. I even bought a little weed from one of the vendor sites, nothing too crazy. And after a while, I felt invincible. I knew what I was doing. I was in control. That's when I made the mistake. I turned off censored mode. At first, it was boring. Tor is slow. Most of the links were dead. But then, I found a site. It was called All the Gore. Look, I'd seen some stuff. Horror movies, live leak cartel videos. I thought I was desensitized. I wasn't. All the Gore wasn't a website. It was a lair. A chat room filled with people who didn't just talk about violence. They celebrated it, bragged about it. Shared photos, trophies. And there was one name that stood out, Culture 45. He was the king in that room. He typed out this long message about how he'd broken into a house, how he'd waited under the bed until the parents were asleep. Then he slit their throats, calm, precise, like he was talking about making dinner. He described how he kidnapped their daughter, how he took her home, what he did to her. And I didn't believe him. Not at first. Then he posted pictures, real ones. A girl, 8, maybe 10 years old, tied to a chair, bleeding, crying, throwing up, her skin bruised, cut, torn. And in the last photo, he's holding a drill, smiling at the camera as he presses it into her skull, like he's proud of it. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to break the screen. I wanted it all to be fake. Instead, I typed, "You people are sick. You deserve to die. How do you sleep at night?" Big mistake. They turned on me instantly. The chat exploded with laughter. "Pussy. Empath. You sound just like her. You should get off the big boy internet." And then, Culture 45 responded. "Really? Where do you live, buddy? I'm sure everyone here would love to see you on this site." My fingers were shaking, but I didn't stop. I typed, "I'm calling the police. I'm having this site shut down." Everything went black. The entire site vanished, and then a new window opened. Black background, green text. Only one user. "Admin 1, call the cops and you will regret it." I didn't respond, I just grabbed my phone. Buzz. A new message, no number, no sender, no caller ID, just one line. Call the police and you're dead. I looked up, my webcam light flicked on, my screen blinked, and there I was, a live image of me looking at my phone as if someone else was watching through the screen. Watching me. Then the chat updated. Put the phone down. Uncover your webcam. I froze, my phone still in my hand, my palm slick with sweat. Another message. Okay then, be like that. Then it appeared in the chat, clear as day. My full name, my age, my address. It would be a shame if you and your college buddies went missing. I uncovered the webcam, and in that moment, whatever this was, it won. I followed their instructions, deleted everything, wiped every trace of the session. And when I was done, one last message lit up my phone. Now don't ever try to come back. I moved out that week, changed my number, changed my laptop, moved in with David. I thought it was over. But the deep web, it doesn't just let you go. Not when it's already seen your face. Not when you've already stared into its darkest mirror. It had been a few weeks since I moved in with David. My head still wasn't clear. Sleep came and went like a whisper, and whenever I looked at a screen, any screen, I'd feel that phantom stare, that memory of seeing myself on their screen, through my own webcam. That doesn't just go away. You carry it, like a shadow stitched to your spine. But David, he helped. He believed me. He never joked, never doubted, and he stayed away from the deep web, unlike everyone else on campus. One night we were both up late, studying, trying to stay focused, trying to be normal. Then, my phone buzzed. No number, no name, just a blank sender. Check your computer. My blood went cold. My hands hovered above the keyboard. I looked at David. He saw my face, saw it drain white. What's wrong? I didn't answer. I just opened my laptop, and when I did, my mouse moved by itself. It glided across the screen. Click, click, dragging files. I tried to wrestle it back, moved my physical mouse, smashed keyboard shortcuts. Nothing worked. It was like the machine had a mind of its own, and it didn't want to share. Then I saw it. A download window. Some unknown file. No name, no description, just installing. Another text. Look out your window. I turned, pulled back the blinds slowly, half expecting something to be right on the other side. But no, he was in the parking lot, leaning against a white van, phone in hand, staring straight up at our apartment, at me. And when our eyes met, he nodded. Type in and hold down Shift-Alt F5 to activate the software. I froze, then called out, David. He rushed in, and I showed him everything. He didn't hesitate. He grabbed his phone and called the police. They'll be here soon, he told me. But the messages kept coming. Activate the software. Right now. We didn't respond. We didn't touch the keyboard. Then the next message. I'm coming in if you don't do it. We didn't know why he couldn't activate it himself. Maybe it was part of the code. Maybe he wanted me to consent. Either way, I didn't do it. And David, he grabbed a baseball bat. We waited. 5 minutes passed. Then the doorknob turned. Soft at first, then rattling, then jerking violently. It was locked, but then came the banging. Fist after fist, pounding against the wood. The frame shook, and then scratching. Slow, sharp, metal on wood, like he was carving something. And then footsteps, walking down the hall, fading. The police arrived soon after. We showed them everything. The messages, the laptop, the man. He was gone. The van too. But they found something else. One of the officers motioned to us. You might want to see this. He pointed to our door. Carved deep into the wood was my name. They brought in a cyber specialist. Had him examine my laptop. He sat in silence for over an hour, clicking, typing, scanning. Eventually, he looked up. This machine is gone, he said. They've rooted it deep. Even the core files are corrupted. Even wiping it won't help. It'll never be secure again. He closed it gently, like he was sealing a casket. That night, I didn't sleep. I couldn't. David stayed with me in my room. We kept the lights on. We kept the bat close. I was just starting to feel like maybe the worst had passed. Until I got home the next afternoon. The apartment was quiet. David wasn't home yet. I dropped my bag, lay down, closed my eyes for just a second, and then rattle from the closet. I sat up, stared at the door, waited, nothing, just silence. I laid back again, and then the closet door flung open. There he was, the masked man. He stepped forward, deliberate, knife in one hand, eyes locked on me. I bolted, slammed the door behind me, ran out to the parking lot, started my car and drove. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. I could feel his stare even through the rearview mirror. When the police arrived, he was gone. No forced entry, nothing stolen, no sign of damage, but I knew he'd been there. Later that night, I turned on my laptop. I don't know why, habit maybe. My wallpaper had changed, no longer trees, now it was a photo. A man in a mask, the same mask, digging a knife into a baby's eye. The image was in a dimly lit cabin, the expression on his face, joy, pure joy. All my apps were gone, all my files, just one icon remained. The software, already installed, already running. The screen blinked, a live stream began. A boy, 13, maybe 14, sitting at his computer, and then I realized I was watching through his webcam. He had no idea. Then a chat box appeared. "Welcome to our live stream. We're glad everyone could be here. Thank you, John, for joining." They said my name. They were waiting for me to watch. I watched the closet behind the boy creak open. A man stepped out, toolbox in hand, duct tape. You know what happens next. They gagged him, hurt him, butchered him. Right there on camera, and the chat was cheering, begging, pleasuring themselves. More, use the saw, rip his face. Then, "Thanks for watching, John." The screen faded, the image stayed. I checked my phone. It had exploded with notifications, texts, calls, voicemails, from everyone I knew, family, friends, professors. "You sick freak. How could you send that? The police are coming." They had sent the live stream from my name. My accounts. My life was destroyed in under 5 minutes. The cops came. I told them everything. Again. This time, they listened. This time, they acted. 1 month later, they caught them. 4 men. Culturella, Admin 1, 2 others. They shut the site down. And just like that, it was over. No more texts, no more nightmares, no more scratching. But you want to know what still keeps me up? The chat room that night. It had hundreds of users, hundreds of viewers. People who didn't hold the knife, didn't hack the computer, didn't break into closets, but they watched, they enjoyed it, and they're still out there. If you ever go on the deep web, make sure you know what you're walking into, because some doors, once they open, they never close.